The Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles is notorious, its name evoking a deep sense of dread. It stands at the intersection of history, horror, and mystery. Among the countless dark stories attached to this infamous hotel, one stands out: the case of Elisa Lam, a 21-year-old Canadian student whose disappearance and death would captivate and puzzle the world. This is a true story that still haunts many today. Elisa Lam was a college student from Vancouver, Canada. She arrived in Los Angeles in January 2013, eager for adventure. She was traveling solo, a decision that, in hindsight, seemed fraught with danger, given the circumstances of what would transpire. Elisa had struggled with mental health issues, particularly bipolar disorder, and was open about her struggles, often writing about her experiences in her blog. Despite these challenges, Elisa was determined to explore the world. She documented her journey online, sharing both her excitement and her fears. Little did she know that her time in Los Angeles would become part of the city's haunting legacy. Elisa checked into the Cecil Hotel on January 26, 2013. The hotel, built in 1927, had already earned a terrible reputation, one that preceded her arrival. It had been a place of death and mystery for decades. From the outside, the Cecil Hotel appeared to be just another low-budget establishment, but its walls held many dark secrets. It had been the site of multiple suicides, unexplained deaths, and even had connections to notorious figures such as Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, and Jack Unterweger, a serial killer from Austria. The hotel was located near Skid Row, an area notorious for its crime and homelessness. Its reputation for being a place where people went to disappear or die was well known by locals, but Elisa, like many others, was probably unaware of the hotel's grim past. For several days, Elisa seemed to enjoy her stay in Los Angeles, posting to her blog and interacting with others online. However, some guests and hotel staff began to notice unusual behavior. Elisa was reportedly seen walking alone through the hotel's halls, speaking erratically to herself and appearing agitated. Staff members were concerned, but Elisa's behavior didn't immediately raise alarms. She had traveled alone, and some attributed her behavior to the stresses of being away from home, or perhaps to her mental health issues. There were reports of her being paranoid at times, and it was clear that her mood was fluctuating, but she still seemed to be managing. On January 31, 2013, Elisa went to a local bookstore. The store owner later described her as being friendly but anxious, perhaps overwhelmed by the number of books she had purchased. It was the last time anyone saw her in person. She was supposed to check out of the hotel on February 1st, but when her family hadn't heard from her and she didn't respond to calls or texts, they grew concerned. The hotel staff launched a search, but they found nothing unusual in her room or anywhere in the hotel. No signs of forced entry, no strange occurrences. It was as though Elisa had simply vanished. With no new leads, the investigation continued. Days passed, and the case began to fade from public attention, until, on February 15, 2013, the hotel's water supply began to raise alarms. Guests complained of foul-smelling water, and some even reported that it tasted strange. The water was discolored, appearing brown or black. Maintenance workers were sent to inspect the water tanks on the hotel's roof, where, in a chilling discovery, Elisa Lam's body was found floating inside one of the large tanks. The discovery was as baffling as it was horrifying. How had Elisa ended up in the tank? The roof was locked, and the only way to access the water tanks was through a secure door. There were no signs of forced entry. Elisa had managed to climb up there and get inside the tank without anyone noticing. When the news broke that Elisa's body had been found, the world was stunned. How had she ended up in the water tank, a place that seemed so difficult to access? And why had no one noticed her disappearance for so long? The discovery of Elisa's body only deepened the mystery. The hotel guests who had been drinking the tainted water were unaware that her body had been floating in it for nearly 3 weeks. How could something so gruesome have gone unnoticed? Soon after the discovery, hotel security footage was released, showing Elisa's last known moments. In the footage, she is seen entering the elevator on the night of January 31st. She presses multiple buttons, causing the doors to remain open, then steps out, looking down the hallway. She seems to interact with someone or something that is not visible, gesturing with her hands and acting in an increasingly erratic manner. She repeatedly steps in and out of the elevator, as though unsure of what to do, before disappearing from view. The elevator doors never closed during the entire interaction. Elisa's behavior was unsettling, and the video quickly went viral, sparking intense speculation. Was she having a mental breakdown? Was there something more sinister going on? Some viewers speculated that she was engaging in the elevator game, an urban legend that claims players can reach another dimension by following a specific set of rules while using an elevator. The footage seemed to support the idea that Elisa was experiencing something supernatural, but the more likely explanation was that she was suffering from a mental health crisis, compounded by her bipolar disorder. As investigators tried to make sense of the footage and Elisa's disappearance, the theories surrounding her death began to multiply. Some believed she had simply become confused and disoriented, eventually climbing to the roof in a state of distress. Others speculated that foul play was involved, pointing to the strange circumstances surrounding the water tank. There were theories about the hotel's dark history and whether it had somehow played a role in Elisa's death. Could the hotel have been cursed? Was Elisa's death a tragic accident, or was there something more nefarious at play? The official cause of death was ruled as accidental drowning, but the strange circumstances surrounding her final moments have left many questions unanswered. How could Elisa have gotten into the water tank without anyone noticing? Was she alone, or could someone else have been involved? Was she influenced by her mental health struggles, or was something more sinister at play? Theories continue to circulate, with many people still unable to reconcile the eerie footage of Elisa's last moments with the eventual discovery of her body. Elisa's death remains one of the most mysterious cases in recent history. It has been the subject of countless investigations, documentaries, and online forums, with people trying to make sense of what happened in those final days. The haunting footage of Elisa's last moments continues to circulate, leaving a trail of unanswered questions and eerie possibilities. Was it simply a tragic accident, or was there something far darker at play? The case of Elisa Lam is a chilling reminder of how a seemingly ordinary life can be swept into a world of mystery, and how some questions may never be fully answered. The Cecil Hotel, once a symbol of the city's underbelly, continues to stand, its dark history forever linked to Elisa Lam's death. The hotel, though now rebranded as the Stay on Main, still carries the weight of its past. The unanswered questions and eerie footage will likely continue to haunt the place, as well as those who are drawn into its twisted history. Elisa Lam's story serves as a cautionary tale. It is a reminder of the fragility of life and the darkness that can lie beneath the surface of even the most ordinary experiences. It also reminds us of the unresolved mysteries that may never have clear answers, leaving us with only speculation and a lingering sense of unease. The case of Elisa Lam may be closed in the eyes of the law, but the questions it raised continue to reverberate, drawing new generations into the chilling enigma of her tragic death.